Well, check this out. Pop. This is the new Glow ParaSnap new generation SterlingFibre Softbox series. And this thing is here to snap your workflow into high gear. Today what we're gonna do is we're gonna be looking at the Octa 44 and this rectangular 24x34. And trust me, these are not your average light modifiers. And in my opinion, the construction and the flexibility of these could pretty much make these the last sets of modifiers you have to buy for a long, long time. Let's go ahead and take a look at them. And I am going to tell you right now, before I even start this review, that I've actually been using Glow products on my own. I bought it all on my own for years. These are some of the best pieces of equipment I've ever bought personally. I love Glow equipment. I found these modifiers to last me for years in rugged conditions. So I was actually really, really excited when they reached out to me to ask me to check out this new ParaSnap with this SterlingFibre thing. Just want to let you know where I'm coming from as I review this. Now, I do have two soft boxes to review today. I do have this 24x34 and I have a 44-inch softbox. Now, for just the practicality purposes of where I'm sitting in my studio, I'll come to this in a minute. I'm gonna use this one to showcase a lot because it's just a little bit smaller, easier here on the camera. But there are a couple things here that I think you really should pay attention that start to set this out and why I think this could be such a universal softbox system for you. The first thing is going to be that quick snap open. And as you can see, this quick snap open feature basically goes from flat and then I can just pop it open and it is that fast. Now I have an open softbox. If I want to close it, there is a big unlock button here on the back. All I have to do is I can just click that and boom, the softbox breaks down that fast. This is really, really important, obviously, for ease of setup and breakdown. But the second thing about this that is so important is actually going to be transportation shape. You can see right here that because this thing breaks down, it doesn't take up a huge amount of space. And it really demonstrates just how important that snap flat is. I want you to see, this is the 44-inch octave that I have folded up. And what I love, look how flat this bag is. It is super easy. It's 44 inches and it can basically slip anywhere, even in my tiny Honda Civic. And what I have here is I have my old Aperture 48-inch softbox that I have right here. And you can just see, of course, the bag is a little older, but because it doesn't fold flat, I have to accommodate the Bowens mount in here. It just takes up a lot more space. I mean, look at the size comparison of flatness versus that in a car. But it just shows you just how much more versatile this is. If you need to travel somewhere and slip this in a piece of luggage, you can do that super easy. Whereas the older non-flat Bowens mount modifiers, these will take up all your luggage space if you're even lucky enough to get them in there. So that by itself is really, really good. But there's another very, very ingenious little thing that I haven't actually seen on any modifier out there as of yet that I've come across personally. So I was really, really impressed with this. And that is, this has a Bowens mount modifier on it. However, I'm not locked in to this mount. Check this out. You can actually open this up, and if I flip this open, that easy, I can sit down and pop out my Bowens mount and I can slip in another mount. And just to show you just how easy it is, I have the Bowens mount, that's what I want. But you can see right here, I can literally pop this, slip it in, and that fast, I have a new mount here. So this tool-free speed ring swapping, this just allows you to easily adjust to whatever lighting system you have. And they have mounts for Broncolor, Bowens, Profoto, Elinchrom, and Godox. So really, really flexible. What I love about this is that I can sit there and if I'm using video stuff, I can sit there and be using my Bowens mount. But if I want to go to Profoto and other modifiers like that, and I have those lights like that, I can easily switch this out and put a Profoto mount on there. And I'm using this same softbox for all of that. I don't have to have specific video or have to have specific photos ones. This one covers everything on there. Now, it's really when you come inside that you're going to find the Glow's secret weapon of these soft boxes, in addition to the cool things you can do here on the ParaSnap. And that's going to be the SterlingFibre quilted silver lining. Now, this is a very, very interesting quilted design silver lining. And what this silver lining does is it boasts minimal loss light and it lets your light get the maximum amount of output possible. So think of this kind of like turbocharging your softbox. And the way that it does this is the quilted surface is designed to pick up all the light hitting it and bouncing it back for maximum output. What this does is this lets you take, because you can have both an inner and outer diffusion silks for double diffusion, this quilted silver reflection allows you to get the maximum output through all that. In addition, they also have an additional grid that you can put on the front, like I have here on my 44-inch Octabox, that you're gonna wanna have as much power output to get through all those things at once. And this quilted design really lets you maximize what you can do with your light by having this silver quilted design. I'm really impressed with how well this works. Now, in addition to the build of the silks and this SterlingFibre, the build itself is just really nice. I'm gonna look at the outside. It's actually, I love the fact that the rods are built here into the softbox itself. They're not going to come popping off. And this fabric just feels well constructed and sturdy. And I know just from my past experience of using Glow softboxes in the past, they just are designed for real world practical use in both video and photo applications. And I love the fact that you can get this built like that and it comes ready to go. Now, as I said, there are multiple versions of these ParaSnap snap boxes, and it really just comes down to what you need and what you're going for. They all each have very specific purposes and, you know, give you a lot of different look and feel based on what you need. Now, obviously, the 44-inch Octa is going to be perfect. It's going to give you 4 gorgeous kind of circular catch lights, and it's going to give you that wraparound softness. It's going to be absolutely critical for interviews and soft beauty type work. I find this great for both video interviews, and I love it as a modeling light when I'm out shooting photography. Now, if you want to get more precise and punchy, then this 24x34 rectangle, this is ideal for product work, rim lighting, or if you're in a situation where you're shooting in compact spaces but still need a softer light, this will give you that. It's a little punchier, a little better than what you could get for the 44-inch. It just depends on what you need to light for. Okay, and if we are going to talk about the softboxes, we need to show them in an actual setting where you'd actually expect to use, especially this beautiful 44 inches Octabox. It's a big soft Octabox, and it gives you the soft creaminess that you'd want for interview and other photography type situations. Now, I have it in a video situation because obviously this is a video, and what I really like about this Glow ParaSnap is the fact that you can see all the benefits of the SterlingFibre, of the ParaSnap, all that stuff coming in right here. And the first thing you see, I do have a grid on it right now. What that grid does, it allows me to control, even though I have a big 44-inch softbox, it allows me to control the light. It's not contaminating my background. I'm able to put this grid on there, and it gets me a ton of control of that background. If I were to pull this grid down, I'm gonna pull it down just so you can see the difference here. If I pull the grid down, you see, first of all, it brings a lot more light on me, which is where that SterlingFibre comes in there. But you can also see what it does here to the background. So having this kind of grid on an Octabox like this is fantastic if you're in a situation where you need for video light. Another thing I really like about this Glow ParaSnap is the fact that it's a 44-inch softbox, so it's big, but it's not gigantic. It doesn't completely overtake the room, which makes it very practical for business and professional type settings. And what I like is that 44 inches. If you look at my shadows here, you can see I'm having a really nice creamy drop off from a 44-inch softbox. I don't need to get a giant softbox. I can still get a nice professional look, and I can do it on a size that's good. It's also really good if you're out there doing photography and you want to have a C-stand or a small stand outside. You want something that really shapes the light well, but is not too big to be unsafe or too cumbersome when you're outdoor. So I find this 44 inches plays to be a really good size for these type of softboxes. And I also want to do one other comparison here for the SterlingFibre. Let's take a look. I've got the light here. I'm not going to change the light. The only thing I want to do is I want to change out my modifier. So I have this ParaSnap right here, and I'm going to go ahead and put my aperture 48-inch softbox, and let's see, they both have grids, they're both double silked. Let's see if that SterlingFibre makes a difference in exposure. And I think you can see here, this is the light output difference. This is where you're going to see that SterlingFibre output. Now the aperture light is great. It's a great light dome right there, but I do think you get the SterlingFibre does have a situation where it does give you a little more output from the same light, exact same distance, exact same output. Okay, whenever I do a review of anything, I always like to point out what I would consider any room for improvement, just so you're fully aware of all the limitations or strengths that a product has. Now, as far as these Glow ParaSnap's new generation SterlingFibre Softbox Go, man, the quick ability to set them up quick, the ability to travel with them flat, the ability to change out the mounts. I had a hard time finding anything about these that I didn't really like. The only drawback that I would say, and it's not really a drawback, it's just something you need to be aware of that you need to purchase separately, is they do come with double silks. They come with everything in there, but these softboxes do not come with default with a grid in it. If you need these primarily for photography, I do not think that is going to be a problem. If you're a hybrid videographer and photographer, you're probably going to want to make sure you have a grid for your video use. So the good news is you can purchase that separately, but it is a separate purchase. It is not part of the price of the kit itself. So I just think that is something you should be aware of. So if you find yourself tired of wrestling with softboxes, or you just want to level up your lighting gear without slowing down, then these ParaSnap NextGens are going to be seriously hard to beat. They're fast, powerful, beautiful, kind of snap, shoot, and repeat. And the good news is it doesn't matter what light system you are, you're gonna be able to use these for multiple ones and they're gonna last you for years on the job. Anyway, I'd love to hear what you have to say about this. Leave me notes and comments down below. And yeah, go out there, keep on shooting, and yeah, I'll talk to you soon.